voice.
Okay, so we figured out that there must be some voice setting that's causing this. We will not repeat the last sentence because it keeps turning off. I've also met those with small ministries in comparison, yet they walk in peace and blessing because they know they've done what they were called to do. Their passion is not in numbers or outward success, but rather to know God more intimately and to walk in his manifest presence. This should be true for every human. We were all created for God, and none of us will ever find true fulfillment outside the knowing him and walking in his presence. This is where all true peace and satisfaction lie. So we'll stop there and we'll just talk about what we read.
I think it was interesting that Moses put himself in what? Enslavement, what is it? Torment.
He would rather be...
Because he wanted to experience another moment with God. So going through trials is part of reaching and growing towards God, I guess, you know.
He didn't choose the easy path because he knew that the riches in Egypt were available to him through the family that he lived with.
Right.
But they lived in sin, and he
didn't want a part of that.
Didn't want any part of that. So he had to make a choice. Do we go the easy road? Looking for fulfillment in the things of life? Doesn't mean we always choose suffering, but sometimes that can certainly be, in his point, he knew that if he was to live a life of luxury with the Egyptians, that he would have to dismiss his God and not have the presence of God in his life. I don't think we ever find ourselves in a predicament like that where we have to choose something like that.
Well, not by the blood of Jesus. I mean, you got to remember this is Old Testament days too.
Well, sure, but I think there's still stuff that we could, like he said, the pastors were pursuing congregations and stuff.
Right.
You know?
I mean, again, it comes down to that word comparison, right? Comparing creates sin, and it drives your motive to be who's doing what for what reason.
Well, it certainly shows where your heart is.
That too. Where it's important to, you know. And then you talk about those who are in ministry that have huge ministries and are like, I never would have thought I'd be here. You know, like this is where God's put me. Sometimes I feel like that happens to us, you know, like since we started the business, like that's certainly not our doing. I've never owned a business before. You've never owned a business before. And yet God placed us there. Timing with Carol Eilers, the whole, you know.
He certainly brought successful things to us, and I believe that's only because we've
put him first.
Put him first.
He's
and
in it.
We're not seeking
accolades or pride
to be rich or to have plenty. It's not what we're seeking after. We're seeking his heart to serve the community with clean water and spread seed. And he's blessed us doing so. I think at the moment we would change our attitude and think that we've achieved something or striving for more or better or bigger and things like that could grasp our heart and make it.
If we're not aware, right? If we close God out of it, sure, I'm sure.